Wait, we need to take another look at that.
And good morning to you too, sir. What say we get this party started? Hey Sonos, play new morning radio. Yeah, all right. Alexa, what's the weather today?
Today, the weather is sunny with a high of 76.
Okay, what just happened there? This is something we haven't seen in the past. This is multiple assistants off of a single device working simultaneously. Now, I won't say that we haven't totally seen this in the past. There is a device in Germany called Magenta. Deutsche Telekom has that. There was the Facebook portal, which had a little bit of this, but we certainly haven't seen this on a Sonos device where multiple simultaneous assistants are available. You saw they started out Ask for Music for Sonos. That's Sonos' specialty, but Sonos doesn't know the weather. And so when the user wanted to ask about the weather, they asked Alexa, and they didn't have to change configuration or ask Sonos to ask Alexa. They just said Alexa as if it was an Alexa device. So I think that was pretty interesting. But wait, there's more.
Now we're talking. Hey Sonos, like that song.
Okay, so back to Sonos. So they started with Sonos. They went to Alexa, back to Sonos. Okay, interesting.
Hi Bixby, show me what's inside the
What? Hey, Bixby. That's the first time I've heard that today.
fridge. Whew, last jar. Guess we gotta order some more, huh? Alexa, add baby food to my shopping list.
I added baby food to your shopping list.
Okay, that's novel right there. We had a Bixby device, a Samsung device. Samsung Bixby is the voice assistant that Samsung has deployed. Samsung is one of the largest manufacturers of appliances, particularly refrigerators in the world. And they could answer the question about, for example, the weather. But you know what they couldn't do? They couldn't place an order or a resupply order for baby food. What is Alexa good for? What does Amazon want you to do with Alexa? A lot of things, but they definitely want you to shop. And we haven't seen this idea of Samsung Bixby working with Alexa. We've seen Samsung Bixby working with Google Assistant in the car, but we haven't seen it working with Alexa here, particularly for a commerce solution. So that's pretty amazing. So now we've seen Sonos, we've seen Samsung working with Alexa. What else is there?
Would you like it delivered today?
Yes, please. I know you do, right? Maybe we ought to get a little workout in this morning. Hi, LG. Find Baby and Me yoga classes.
Here are the search results for Baby and Me yoga classes.
Okay, hey LG, yet another voice assistant, and that's just been brought up. And they have a smart TV in the room. We haven't seen Alexa yet, so what's going to happen?
Someone is at the front door.
Alexa, show me Ring camera. Bet that's your lunch. What, no time to sweat this morning? Okay. Alexa, turn off TV and turn down the lights, please.
Okay, so there's a number of interesting things that happen there too. So it went from Hey LG, and then they asked Alexa to see who was on the Ring camera. Alexa has that integration with Ring. And then after that, said, Alexa, turn off the TV, Alexa, turn on the lights. And those were native capabilities. And this is really interesting for a few different reasons. One is Amazon has been working on this since the fall of 2019, and they launched something called the Voice Interoperability Initiative. And there were about 30 companies that were involved in that. And every one of those companies since that time has signed on with Amazon for the Voice Interoperability Initiative. And that's Samsung, LG, that's Sonos. Sonos was one of the original partners in this. Now there's over 90 people. So what is the objective of the Voice Interoperability Initiative? It's so that you can use multiple assistants on a single device. And let's talk about what this means for users. So first, different devices have different specialties. So you might not think Amazon is the best solution for music. Maybe you think Sonos is, but you might also want to have access through that Sonos device to things that Alexa is good at, like the weather, timers, alarms, those types of things. You aren't going to buy an Amazon refrigerator because they don't make them. Samsung is one of the biggest refrigerator manufacturers in the world. And yet there are a number of things that Samsung is really focused on today with Bixby, and particularly at smart home. If you've been following Samsung and what they've done, Bixby rolled out first on the Samsung smartphones. But if you look at over the last couple of years, they've really focused on the smart home solutions, not these general purpose requests. And they also have this really robust ecosystem of skill developers. They do have some people who make Bixby capsules, some independent third parties have made them, but there's many, many more in Alexa. So there's a lot more services. And in particular, they don't have shopping. So that's really interesting that they can get that shopping element, which is a really nice service for their users. And they do that by integrating Alexa. Okay, just continuing on, you can buy an Alexa smart TV, but a lot of people like LG. And so if you have an LG smart TV, what might you like them to be able to do? Integrate with your Ring's home security devices, which Amazon does natively. And then at the end, we have this idea of these, what they call universal commands. So Alexa, turn off the TV. That's through the LG system. So Amazon just announced this during Alexa Live that they have these universal commands. It's like TV control, timers, alarms. You could start it with one assistant, but then you could be interacting with another assistant and you could still turn it off, which is really cool because that's a seamless experience for a user. So that's the first concept, that we have these different specialties. The second is this idea of ambient computing that Amazon and some other people like to talk about, is this idea that you have easy access to digital services just by asking. And sometimes if the voice assistant that's active and maybe available in that room isn't the one that has that service, then it's a little bit of an inconsistent experience. So we really need to have these ambient solutions actually integrated together. And so even though that was a cartoon and obviously wasn't a live demo, it gave you the sense of what living with multiple assistants might look like. And I think that's the third point I would have, this idea of a multi-assistant future. For several years, we've talked about this idea of consumer voice assistants. Will there be one voice assistant to rule them all? Will a consumer just say, I'm an Alexa person, I'm a Siri person, I'm a Google Assistant person? And the fact is, it's more likely that we're going to have multiple assistants, much more like the app model. Now, some of the user experience pros I know don't really like this. They think, oh, geez, it's too much cognitive load is the term they use, but it's too much switching cost. Remember, do I need to ask Alexa for this or Samsung for that? And the fact is, we already do this in our daily lives. We have apps, and most of us use 9 different apps every day, 30 different apps every month. We have 100 apps on our phone. We know which ones are good at different things. And so that's what we're looking at right now. We're looking at these assistants as being invoked based on what they're good for. And it seems to me that users are going to be able to accommodate that. Yes, it might be easier from a user experience standpoint if you had one voice assistant that could do everything, but that's not the way the market's playing out. And frankly, humans are pretty good at accommodating these types of things. So this app model of different voice assistants for different services, I think, is going to be really interesting. But what did we need? We needed the device interoperability, the ability to run multiple assistants on the same device in order to even make this a viable alternative. Otherwise, people are just going to have a device for every different product from every different manufacturer in their house. And that's not a good answer. Okay, so what didn't we see here? Well, one thing we didn't see was Google or Apple. And don't expect to see them. They're not looking to play nice with other players right now. That might change in the future. But right now, Amazon is the one that's leading the case for these multiple interoperability. And that makes sense. It's kind of like the big ecosystems from the mobile era, Android and iOS, Google and Apple, have really stuck to their guns about controlling that user experience. Amazon coming in with this new device ecosystem, these new ideas, they're working with everybody else who would like to have that front row seat, be the voice assistant that people could interact with first. Okay, so that's one of the things we see. Now, one of the things we did see is the voice interoperability initiative. We saw some tangible examples, and Sonos is out there, so you're going to see that. I haven't seen yet Samsung Bixby, but I guess based on this, we're going to see this integration with Alexa coming up very soon. So that's news, I think. And we're going to see many more of these. And if we think about one other thing we didn't see, though, I just want to point this out, is we didn't see an Alexa device offering access to another assistant. We saw these third-party manufacturers or these other major manufacturers allowing Alexa in. And Amazon already had that model. We mentioned at the top that Deutsche Telekom had done this already. Facebook had done this already. But we've yet to see, and we didn't see it here, an Alexa device that allows easy access to one of these other assistants. And that'll be the real test for Amazon to roll that out. And that'll be the thing that I'm looking for. If the real promise of the voice interoperability initiative, Amazon wants to create a level playing field, it's to enable some of these other devices to be on there. Now, they are enabling that in some other places, which were not in this video. So for example, there's a new deal with Skull Candy and Native Voice, and that'll allow you to say, hey, Skull Candy, and you'll work with some of these different solutions. We are going to see Hey Disney. That was one of the other things that was demonstrated during Alexa Live. And you're going to be able to say that not only in the Hey Disney resorts where they're going to have these custom smart displays, which are primarily Hey Disney, but you'll be able to say Hey Alexa as well for more information. Disney also announced during Alexa Live that they're going to have basically an expansion pack or a feature that you'll be able to purchase, which will allow you on your Alexa device to be able to say, hey, just say Alexa to activate that, or Hey Disney to get into some of the Disney functionality. So that's what we have today. I think it's really interesting. Definitely look next for these other assistants to be on Alexa devices, because Amazon Alexa has a lot of devices out there, and that's what's going to be a big benefit for users. And let me know what you think about this multi-assistant future. You can do so in the comments below, or you can hit me up on the Twitter at Bret Kinsella. There you go. Some really interesting news coming out of Alexa Live. I think we're going to be using these devices a lot differently going forward. Hey, thanks for watching. Please like this video and subscribe to help us with YouTube's famed algorithm. And it'll be good for you too, because you'll be notified when the next 10 Minutes on video drops, and you'll have that information before everyone else. So please like, subscribe, and may the voice bots be with you.